Always smoking it right here at Austinite. We're back. Welcome back to the Austinite Podcast. We got a super special guest today. We got an Austinite favorite, a host of many of our events here, and actually the creator of all the jams you hear us jamming out to here on the Austinite Podcast. We got Aldo Caldo.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Aldo, how are you?
Good, how are y'all doing?
Good to have you back in town. It's it's like a unicorn sighting when you pop up in here, but it's like every time you're in the city, you pop up and show love, so thank you.
For sure, and I'll come and crash out on the floor and the couch here.
We get it, Chris Perez Band, all that, all the traveling, all the art installs and everything, but we're going to get into all that.
Yeah.
We've had Aldo on before, but we're doing something really special. We're trying something brand new, and Aldo's going to be the first one to try it with us.
Here we are.
10 questions, 10 dabs.
Let's do this.
What are you thinking about it?
Yes.
So right now we've got the Puffco Proxy modular vape from Puffco, so we're doing some electronic dabs, some of the best dabs in the game right now, I think.
They are.
We're smoking on some good concentrate as well, and we're going to break down some good questions, get to know Aldo a little bit behind the scenes. I know everybody catches him when he's out performing, looping instrumentals and everything, but we're going to get to know the man behind the music, I think.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Alrighty, whenever you're ready, we're going to get started with something simple.
All right.
Who are you? How would you answer that?
My name is Aldo Ramon. I go by Aldo Caldo, also Comweedian. I'm from a small little town in West Texas called Pecos, Texas, the world's first rodeo. Also the best cantaloupes in the game. But I come from a law enforcement family. They're all FBI, Secret Service, municipal court, federal judge, and blah, blah, blah. They all went right. I went left because I felt like I have a better chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tried something different.
Right. And I grew up, really inclined with music and creativity and colors and, even technology. It's just like I kind of evolved with it. And then I started working for Apple, and that's when I really got heavily involved in technology and just, in the arts as well. So.
Yeah, there's so much to it. It's so deep. And now you've traveled the world, performed with different bands, and you're still doing that today. So.
Yeah, still doing it today. And that's, something that I feel very grateful and blessed. And because a lot of people they don't think this or know this, but I get pretty shy and nervous and, anxious in front of people. But I know I have a knack of making people laugh and dance and stuff.
Yeah.
So I know that we need that in the world. So I get out of my own way and I said, all right, let's go do it. Sometimes, it works. Sometimes, it sucks, but
just light a little joint, load a little dab up. We got dab number 1 going right there, and then you just come say what's up to Aldo.
Dab number one.
That just goes to show y'all, if anybody's nervous themselves about coming up to a public figures or anybody that you like or that are influenced by, come check them out, and then just don't be afraid. We're just people too. We're just normal people like all y'all, and we just want to check everybody out. But I know you're creative and you have been for a long time now. So who inspires you creatively? Who inspires all your work?
Well,
it's probably a lot of them.
Yeah, I have quite a few different people that inspire me creatively. Mushrooms seem to be doing that quite often, psychedelics. But I really like different artists from different aspects. I like Reggie Watts with regards to the way he does his musical looping and his artistry. And then I like, the comedy of like Pablo Francisco, because Pablo Francisco, he has a different way of just getting voices out and, making things kind of crazy sounding.
Yeah, not how you'd expect.
Yeah. And then I felt like I'm influenced with just a lot of my friends and peers around me. I've been very blessed to be able to be around different artists and musicians and bands that everyone seems to push the envelope with regards to the creativity and making it happen. And when I was working at Apple, I worked at Apple for about 15 years as one of their forward thinkers, and, logistics and whatnot. But one thing I learned from Steve and, Steve Jobs and one of them is, as an artist or as a creator, a lot of the times that people don't know what they want to look at, and they don't know what they want to see or do or dance. And it's the job of an artist to give it to them.
Said like a true creative.
It's just like, we got to give it to them. And, if it's good or if it's bad,
they'll be the judges. That's not up to you. That's not up to you to make that decision,
As an artist, you just got to get out of your own way. And
I feel that with the design space. Right now I was working on a little logo and it's super simple. One of the most simple logos I've designed. And I just kind of got stuck in my head about it, and I just finally had to ship it off to who it was going to and be like, just give me the feedback. I've looked through enough and I've seen enough. I just need to get that, and then you get really good feedback on it too. But
for real.
So yeah, it's cool to see. Over your time creating, working with Apple, traveling, music, performing, everything like that, what's a important or notable lesson that you've learned along the way?
One thing I learned along the way is maybe it's a habit too, but I always say yes. So I have a habit of never saying no. So I feel like if I don't know how to do something, I figure it out, or I hire somebody and I get taught how to do it. So
Okay.
I feel like always take the opportunity. If somebody offers you to do something, or hey Aldo, can you play sax? Or hey Aldo, can you play bass? Or hey Aldo, can you write this song? Or can you do commercials? Or I always just say yes. You know what I mean? And not that I'm full of shit. It's just that I'm like, yeah, I can do that.
I'm gonna see. Yeah, that's
Like I can figure it out. I know there's Fiverr. I know there's other things like I can do it because I bring in a team of creatives that I work with, and I know people that we can make airplanes come back to life. We can do weird art installs and whatnot.
shout out Area 15.
Area 15, yeah, so
It's cool, yeah. It's even like it's better than saying no. Saying
Right.
yes and at least putting some thought to it is better than just closing it off completely and saying no.
right, yeah. But like they're saying in the notes right here, yes with discretion, but
With discretion, right?
Yeah,
And
but-
yes, but.
yes, but no, but I usually say yes, usually all the time.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, let's do this.
Cool. We're on question number 4 now. I'm gonna
Question number 4.
heat up dab number 4 here, and I want to talk about. We talked about the inspirations. We talked about everybody that inspires you, but I want to know from a young age, maybe from the start of your creative journey, who inspired you.
Who inspired me when I was younger?
I said inspired. It's influenced. Who
Influenced me.
influenced you?
So one of my first gigs in growing up in my hometown was in the church, obviously. But one of my first gigs was playing in a country band called the Tommy Lee Hooker Band, and I was a guitarist. And I really studied a lot of guitar and the country twanging, So growing up in that small town, I was a police explorer. Like I said, all my family was police. So we would go and park the cars at the rodeo in Pecos, and we'd put all the cars in line, and we were dressed up as little police officers. And I would use that outfit, like I was 10 or 11 years old. I would use that outfit to sneak into the country dances.
Wow.
And I would go watch George Strait, Randy Travis, like all these country legends on the side of the stage because they wouldn't kick me out. And I was just there watching like these guitar players and bass players and steel string players. And even quinceañeras too. We would do quinceañeras, and I would go in there and talk to the band and say, "Hey, can I play your piano?"
Just be like a sponge.
I would be a little kid. I was that
Soaking it
little
up.
nesty little kid that'd be like, "Hey, can I play your keyboard?" Or "Let me play your bass." You know what I mean? Because my family, we didn't have any instruments, so I would go and find. When we're there, my mom and dad used to do marchas. They would lead the marchas for the weddings and stuff. So I would go, and my VHS recorders used to came out back in the day. So my dad had one, and he would go and lead the marcha of the wedding and record it for the couple, whoever got married. So while that was happening, I was always there at sound check with the musicals because I was a little kid not doing shit. So
Yeah.
I'd go fuck with the musicals, and that's how I really started. And then I would start seeing how these musicians would get all these people dancing in circles and just getting them, screaming and.
Yeah, and being so young, it's like you're not thinking
Yeah.
about your 30-year-old. It's like, I want to do that in 20 years. But it's like, what you think is cool,
Right.
you're going to be like, man, I need to find out more about it, find out how I can do it, how I can be a part of it. So it's just like a natural inclination. So it's cool to see you now. And that was how old were you then? Probably like 10?
Yeah, 10 or 11, yeah.
So what would you tell yourself back in Pecos if you could go back and that person probably didn't know who you were now. If you could go see him and say what's up,
You're kicking ass, man. You're having a blast of a life.
Keep doing it right. You're doing the right
man.
thing.
You know what though? I remember being at that age when I was playing. When I went into junior high, you play football. So I just remember being like, do I want to travel on a bus full of dudes or girls in the band?
Weigh the options a little bit.
Yeah, so I kind of weighed the option. And then, so we had to make a decision on where are we going? Are you going to be a football player or are you going to be in the band? And I remember that day I had to make the decision. And I walked home, and the Tommy Lee Hooker's grandfather was living there down my street. That's why I started playing with him. But I asked him, I was like, I need to make a decision. And he said, son, you think I can get in the street with you and play football right now? I was like, no. He's like, but check this out. And he pulls up with his guitar, and on the front porch just starts twanging away. You know what I mean? And I was just like, and he was just like, so put your time and effort into something you can do till the day you die.
Find your avenue.
Yeah,
basically.
so I was just like, okay, I guess I'm quitting football. I guess I'm out.
I guess I'm done with that. Yeah, no more football tryouts, no more basketball tryouts, any of that.
So I was just like, yeah. And then, I played basketball for a little while, but it wasn't me. I jammed my fingers, and then I played again. I didn't play, but I was hosted the UT basketball games here, and I was just so bored.
Couldn't do it?
Yeah, it was just kind of boring to me. I was just like, going back and forth, back and forth. I mean, yeah, I went out on stage and was doing the Whataburger Shuffle and all the games for the kids. But other than that, I was just like, man, this is not what I want to do.
I see, yeah.
But it was fun because everyone was like, how did you get that gig? And I was just talk shit on the mic.
And it takes those opportunities. It takes those experiences and going through them and knowing you don't like something to find something you do like. But it's just crazy seeing you, just hearing about you, knowing you now and hearing about you growing up in Pecos and everything like that, family of feds and everything. And you weren't even a big smoker until late in your life, right?
Yeah, I got to the smoking table late. And it's something that I feel like I was lucky. I was lucky because I got to it late. So I learned a lot of skills really early on in life, and I went to school and, I did my scholarship. I did all the what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
I just was like, man, there has to be way more, It's a lot more fun in life out there.
So is that kind of how you got introduced to cannabis? Just want a little more?
No. I was leaving to Miami for a show, and my buddies were like, just smoke with us before you leave. Come on. And I was like, all right, let's do this. And I did it. And man, I was like a portal. And that's because I've always been anti-drugs, anti-everything, because of my family background. But it was like a portal for me. And then I felt like I could really feel and hear the notes and,
Yeah. It just spoke to you more. And I bet even more that you had like fully, like they say, developed your brain and everything like that.
Right.
Everything was, all the gears were going.
Right. And I felt like, I always try to tell people, if you're going to start smoking, smoke late in life because you want to get all your skills. You want to be able to get all your stuff down,
Know what you want to do.
Yeah. And so I just felt like smoking that late in life really helped me because I still already had all my motor skills and creativity. But cannabis really helps me cope. Like when I was going up on stage and doing these shows for 50,000, 60,000, 10,000, these are a lot of people. And if you fuck up, you fuck up big,
And it's all those eyes. There's two sets of eyes for every person, and they're all on you.
And if you can get them dancing and singing along, then you're winning. But so I just remember I would smoke and be like, they just want to have a good time like me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. But even that was a little bit, probably at the beginning of recreational and medical dispensaries popping up around the nation, but now it's like, it's even more common for, the older generation to be able to come back into cannabis and get something that's pure and that's really good and it's for a desired effect that they want. So that's awesome too. So anybody that's thinking about it, come check us out. Austinite. Austin, Texas.
Check it out here in Austin, Texas. Austinite Cannabis Co.
Or Ardmore, Oklahoma, Marietta coming soon. Yeah,
that's right. It's all coming soon, and it's right here at your disposal.
We're doing our best. But shifting from cannabis, but staying into kind of the. I want to shift to psychedelics. I'll just say it.
Psychedelics.
So, how was your introduction to psychedelics? And bonus little side piece of that, how has that helped your growth in your career in general?
Well, it depends on which psychedelic we're talking about.
Psilocybin. Let's talk psilocybin.
Okay, so let's talk mushrooms. Yeah, I was introduced to mushrooms. I went through a pretty bad heartbreak, weird life experience, right? And I knew about mushrooms for the recreational, hey, let's melt the walls and have fun and change the colors in the
groovy festival. Baby.
Yeah. So I did that before, and it was cool. But once I really started learning about microdosing and being able to change your thought patterns and just reconnect, your neurons and your emotions and being able to connect with your emotions every day at a time, I felt like that really helped me because I could have turned to alcohol. I could have turned into, I could have been really violent.
There's a million things to turn to.
Yeah. So I felt like the mushrooms just microdosing made every day to be like, you know what, it's not that bad. Let's go back out there.
Made it a little bit more manageable.
Yeah, it made it a lot more manageable, to be honest with you. And I've been very blessed and thankful that I turned to that as opposed to other things. And and it really helped me out. And I always, even now when I'm working with some, combat vets and the breath work and the, Willful Warrior breath work team that I work with, we learn how breathing and psychedelics and just, moderate amounts over a long time can really help people from suicidal thoughts, from being depressed, from being anxious, from, it's just, it's a lot more powerful than a lot of people think. And they think, oh, you're doing mushrooms because yeah, that's loco, and you like to party, and you know what I mean. But
Groovy baby.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I'm pretty functional with it, and I'm pretty,
You're not taking hero dose 7 days a week.
No, not 7 days a week, but every now and then I'll take a hero dose. Yeah,
but those are necessary, I'd say, every once in a while, because they bring out those thoughts that even you don't want to think about in your normal conscious. So
right.
It really just helps you get in touch with yourself.
And for the new and for the weak, it's it's not recommended because it'll scare a lot of people. That's for sure.
I think they'll never come back. Yeah, it's crazy. But I know you travel now as the Comweedian. Comweedian, you'll travel, perform, and everything like that. We've had you at Austinite a bunch of times. But performing, with that cannabis stigma and, openly just preaching about your psychedelic use and everything like that, how do you navigate kind of the negative stigma that follows it or maybe even help it out?
I don't give a fuck.
That's it?
Yeah, I felt like as a revolutionary, you got to be on the front lines and you got to be about it, and I'm a self-made man. So it's just like,
if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna say it.
I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? It's just like, you're not putting money in my pocket. I don't really have to make you happy.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do what I want to do. Like, I don't answer to no one. I do what I want. It's not like trying to be mean. It's just like,
No, this
is the life I carved out for me, and I like it.
Who would you be if you were doing it any other way, Aldo? That's all I can say. What would you expect? You can't expect anybody else to be or to do it any other way. I'd say But any young creators watching, anybody that's maybe a young inspired by stuff that you do, what would you tell them? How would you, that are maybe scared to get started, what advice would you give them?
Don't be scared. Do it and do it again, and then keep doing it. And when people make fun of you and when people try to hold you down, you get right back up and you do it again. Because people are always going to make fun of you. People are always going to be more jealous. People are always going to, there's always going to be negativity. So you just got to learn how to pivot and just keep going with the positivity. And don't let anybody hold you back. Not even your parents, your family, nobody. If you want to do something, do it.
You said how many years in you still get nervous? So it's like nerves are never going to go away. But the time will go away.
You learn to cope with them. And like I said, people need the creativity. People need the art. People need to laugh. People need to dance. And
innovation.
And innovation. And if you can provide that, you need to get out of your own way and your own ego, maybe take yoga or whatever, and provide your love and heart for the people. Because, and right now, the times we're going through,
we need a little bit of that.
A lot of that. Yeah, for sure.
So if you got a message and you got something to say, just say it. I'd say, we got the perfect platform here and we'll always support you too. But Aldo, what you got right there? What do you want to highlight?
I got right here a hash hole right here from the Headspace guys in New Mexico.
What?
Yeah. This is a great. That's yours for us.
What? To smoke. How big is this?
That's big enough. But
big enough.
Open it up. It's wrapped in hash.
Let's check it out.
These guys throw down.
That's awesome.
They're in New Mexico right here. And then they are Dulcelín Spicy Mango Sabor que pega right here.
Ay.
I know. The a la mango right here. Same guys from Headspace by way of Cave City Cannabis is over there. These guys are going to be coming for the boat party.
Okay, badass.
Yeah,
cool.
They're all coming. They're good familia, man. So
shout out Headspace. We're going to give this a little puff right after the show, and we're going to let y'all know what we think. That's awesome. Shout out to y'all.
Shout out Cave City Spicy Mango. Okay, step out here, try some of that. Oh, wow.
Let me see.
It's good. It's really good.
And what about that Hitoki? What's up with that thing?
Hitoki. Oofa. The Hitoki is this laser bong. It's innovative. I had this artist by the name of Jupiter on my Comweedian show when I had my Comweedian show over there at the Cannabis Capital Network in Los Angeles. And Jupiter, who happens to be Snoop Dogg's son, came on the show and brought the bigger version of this. I think it's called the Triumph. Yeah. And we got blasted high on it and whatever and blah, blah, blah. Well, they just recently released this one.
Oh, it's smaller.
Yeah, and it's a lot smaller, and it's laser driven, and it's not even out on the market yet. But they sent me this one to check it out and try out, and put it on the videos and bring it around. So
that's awesome. Yeah, it looks dope.
Yeah, it's gonna. I think I saw one of the versions at Champs, but it.
Yeah, you saw it a couple years ago.
So the laser going through it.
The flower's in that red part, correct? And the laser's hitting it.
The flower's up in here.
That is awesome. And then it just gives you a little smooth stream out of there. Let's see.
Yep.
So the dry herb vapes are really taking over the market. I hear a lot of people talk about them all the time.
Yeah, they're going back. You put the herb right in here. Boom, the laser's right there. I don't want to Have to turn it on.
Yeah.
It's up your camera, but yeah, and it's revolutionary, and I like it because it's tech. You know, it's just like techie.
It's a new thing on the block, new kid on the block.
Yeah, it's a new kid on the block, and shout out Hitoki for sending me this, and showing the love. Comweedian.
Yeah, shout out Hitoki, man, and shout out Headspace, man. These mangoes, a la mango, man.
A la mango.
Y'all aren't playing with that.
Yeah, right.
Shout out Richard's Rainwater, too, with the sparkling
Richard's
water.
Rainwater, man. I take a bath with this. Just kidding.
They just got a re-up. It just rained over here, so
Re-up.
they just re-upped on the rainwater. But we're going to get this thing. We were on the 10th question.
All right, 10th question. Are we on the 10th dab?
We are on the 10th dab that I'm loading up right now. We got to make it an extra fat one, of course.
Loading up the dabs right now.
So this one's a little two-parter too, but it's the last one, so we got to go out with a bang. And everybody needs to know how they can keep up with you. So what's next for you, and how can we keep up?
Well, you can keep up with me on socials. I go by Aldo Way Up, separated, right, by
Underscores.
Aldo Way Up. And then I also have Comweedian on Instagram. So it's like the word comedian, but you put some weed in there.
Throw a little weed in there.
Throw some weed in there and get high.
Roll it all up, and then boom.
And then I think by the beginning of the year, I may reinvent myself. And I may drop something else, something new, and I think I'm going to focus on TikTok with something
Short form.
Yeah, short form content, but with like a new alias that I've had in the back of my mind.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah,
Stay tuned.
Yeah, so I'm thinking about doing that and shaking that up for the next year.
So you're saying a lot's coming soon, is what I'm
hearing.
hearing.
A lot's coming soon. I have these shows that I've been doing with Chris Perez and whatnot, and I've been having a blast with them and the crew and just going around and seeing. I guess the best part of the show, I love to rock out. I love to get people with their horns up, and I love to get them. But one of the best parts for that show is when you seeing the people singing and dancing and crying when we're playing the Selena songs and whatnot, is
bringing them back.
Yeah. So that's a cool, blessed feeling for sure, and I do it for free because it's such an awesome feeling.
That's awesome. When's your next upcoming shows with them?
I play this Saturday at the Greek Theater in Los Angeles. So we're opening up for George Lopez.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The Hard Rock Comedy?
The Hard Rock Comedy, yeah. So it's going to be there. George Lopez is on a tour, and he asked Chris to open up there at the Greek. And it's been almost 24 years, almost to the day. I'm going to post about it, I guess, tomorrow or something. But almost 24 years ago, I played at the Greek Theater with Menudo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and what's crazy is that it was right when Christina Aguilera came out with Genie in a Bottle.
Okay.
So she came out with that song, so she opened up the show, and then it was Joey McIntyre. He had just left New Kids on the Block, and then I was playing bass for Menudo. And we did this whole show, and backstage before the show, I'll always remember it because it's etched in my heart.
Core memory.
Yeah, we were hanging out backstage and getting ready to go on stage, right, and just hanging out back. And El General, the I don't know if you heard of that rapper. He's from Panama.
Sounds familiar. Okay,
He's
okay,
real
okay,
fast.
yeah.
He came out with this soca sound right back in the day. He was there, and he started rapping. And then I think our drummer knew him, and our drummer started jamming with him. Then our percussionist had percussion shit around his neck, and we were up. So I picked up the trash can, and I turned it around, and I started. And they start. And then the guys from Menudo, Alex and Didi, came into the room and started like improvising like scoros, right, in Spanish. And then in the back, in the other room, we were hearing Christina warming up, doing all her drills.
All runs and everything.
Yeah, and she comes in and throws down with us, like, and then the dancers, her background dancers, were all just like,
that is wild.
Yeah, it was wild. And there was a guy there with the huge VHS recorder. But I've never seen the footage, and it was just something that was like backstage, like, what the hell?
It's in the archive. Christina, get your camera guy.
Yeah, Christina, what's up, girl?
20 years ago, hit him up. He's probably on Facebook. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows where that guy is, but
that's awesome. I feel like that just brings you like the first thing I thought of when I heard that is like the Pecos days, man. That's like that's just bringing it all full circle. That's
full
awesome.
Circle, yeah. So it's a good experience. It's going to be fun to go back there and see that point of view again. Just, you know what I mean? But this time, like, I'm going to soak it in. And now I'll have a camera, you know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Like a phone to record it. Back then, I didn't have any of that. I was just like playing all these shows with not really, trying to take a picture and, trying to,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
that's
excited.
awesome.
It's gonna be good.
It's going to be a ton of fun. And we also, are we planning on the Caldo?
Oh yeah, Caldo Festival is November 18th.
November 18th, Caldo Festival.
Saturday, November 18th.
Second annual.
Second annual. We're gonna probably have some special guest appearances on there. So
just stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
We'll probably run another podcast back before then.
Yeah, for sure. And and stay tuned for that Caldo Festival, Saturday, November 18th. And other than that, before that, I have a show in Houston with Chris on the 16th of September. Then I got some comedy shows in Uvalde and then down in the Valley.
All over.
Yeah.
Keep up with Aldo.
Keep up. Let's do this, guys.
Yeah, I think we're going to wrap this episode up here, y'all. This was the Austinite Podcast. We're always smoking it right at Austinite.
Always smoking it right.
Yeah. Like, subscribe, comment, all that. We got a ton of good episodes coming soon. Got a ton of events coming soon. Check out all our socials. Austinite Cannabis _CO. We're on everything. We're even on the Threads app now. We're on X. Not Twitter no more. We're on X. But yeah, check us out on everything. Check me out. Live City Productions, videography, photography, everything like that. Production, graphics. But yeah, we're going to wrap this episode up here. Austin's favorite dispensary. Coming to you live from here. And see y'all at the next event, y'all. Stay high.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.